This hanky has PP embroidered on it. I highly doubt that this belonged to Grandpa Marley. Phew, this thing reeks. It's a small packing sponge.
Don't need to try it, pug!
There seems to be something inside. It's a music box. Hey, there's a bottle of fine grog behind this music box. No thanks. A grog this old could probably eat through most of my internal organs. It's a large packing sponge.
Your lawyers have negotiated a settlement. Now drop everything and come out.
My lawyers are fired.
It's a packing sponge.
Don't need to try it, pug!
It's an old cracked sword. If I could open it, I wouldn't be trapped in here.
Come out
It's
with
the
your
door to
hands up.
freedom. Well, I can't remove it with my bare hands. Well, I can't remove it with my bare hands. That didn't get me anywhere. I broke the hinge off, but I broke the sword, too.
Bank robber!
The sword seems to be widening the crack a bit. With the sword jammed in there, the gap is larger.
That's GUYBRUSH THREEPWOOD.
There are dry sponges stuffed in the door jamb.
So long, suckers! And remember, you've just been robbed by Guybrush Threepwood!
Hey! Where'd he go?
Hey, what's all the commotion?
Get him!
Ah!
You're under arrest, Mr. Threepwood. Right. Down to the jailhouse with you. All right, you. Didn't your mum ever explain that bank robbery isn't nice?
It wasn't me, it was the no-nosed bandit.
Right. No-nosed bandit. Or perhaps it was the guy we caught red-handed. You! Although we haven't found the loot yet.
You'll find it with the real robber, so let me go and get cracking.
Detective work isn't my job. If you want to clear your name, you've got a few things to do.
Okay, what?
I need the perpetrator, I need proof he was at the scene of the crime, and I need proof that he committed the crime.
You know, it'd be a lot easier if I could just bribe you.
I'll ignore that, Threepwood. Around here, we do things by the book. Now, since this is your first offence, you'll be placed under house arrest.
I get to go back to the mansion and play with Timmy?
No, you are confined to Luca Island. You are not permitted to leave until and unless you are cleared of the crime of bank robbery. To make sure you don't leave, you are required to wear the voodoo anklet of extreme discomfort.
I was wondering about that. It's rather uncomfortable. Can you loosen it?
Well, that wouldn't be the point then, would it? It gets a lot more uncomfortable if you try to leave the island.
At least I'm not in jail. Inspector?
Yes?
I'm innocent. It was the no-nosed pirate that robbed the bank.
Who? Peg-nosed Pete. Listen, if I had a monkey for every time some penny ante crook tried to pin their criminal malfeasance on Peg-nosed Pete, I'd have enough monkeys to work out a reasonable sequel to Hamlet by now.
So what you're saying is that you don't believe me?
No.
Why don't you believe that Peg-nosed Pete robbed the bank?
Because, Mr. Threepwood, it's just not Peg-Nose's style. If Peg-Nose had robbed a bank, he would have snuck in under the cover of darkness, used a clever series of weights and pulleys to open the vault, and would have absconded with the loot without leaving a trace of his presence. Peg-Nosed Pete would never simply enter a bank in the middle of the day, waving a pistol around like a common thug. It's beneath him.
Just for the sake of argument, what would it take to prove my innocence?
Well, since you don't have an alibi, You'd have to turn the finger of blame towards the real culprit.
Great! How do I do that?
Off the top of my head, I can think of 3 things that would do the job. A. New evidence would have to surface, linking the so-called real perpetrator to the crime. 2. The stolen bank loot would have to be recovered. And Z. The real criminal would have to be caught and brought to justice.
That should be a piece of cake for a pirate with a keen analytical mind like myself.
I'll keep your cell warm.
Can you remove this voodoo anklet? I really need to get back to my wife.
Sorry, you're stuck on this island until your trial arrives. Or until you manage to prove that you're innocent.
When can I expect my trial?
As soon as the judge returns.
Great, when's that?
He should be back within a few weeks, when his vacation's over.
A few weeks? I need to get back to Melee Island today.
Well, I guess you should have thought of that before you went and robbed that bank now, shouldn't you?
But I'm innocent.
Tell it to the judge.
Wow, this voodoo anklet sure is uncomfortable.
That's why it's called the voodoo anklet of extreme discomfort.
How's the investigation going?
What investigation? You were caught red-handed. I'm just waiting for the judge.
Oh. You're not gonna lift a finger to help me, are you?
No.
But what about justice?
Haven't you heard? Justice is blind.
Not to mention lazy, apparently.
Quiet, you.
But how do I go about proving my innocence again?
Catch the real perpetrator, recover the loot, and come up with evidence to back your story up.
Oh yeah. Where can I find Peg-Nosed Pete?
If I knew that, he'd be locked up right now.
Because he framed me for robbing the bank?
No, because he's wanted for approximately 300 other crimes on Luca Island.
Well, I better get out there and prove my innocence.
Stay out of trouble.
Hey, I should bring Meat Hook here. You'd like this place. No. Ew, greasy. I guess they use it on these Iron Maiden spikes to allow smooth impaling. Iron Maiden! Excellent! I have no idea why I said that. I'm not getting in there. Not after what happened last time. It says, Contra leges marinas latrocinium maris est. I think that means... Actually, I have no idea what it means. Otis, what are you doing here?
I'm a victim of society.
Let me guess. You were framed, right?
How did you know?
Just a hunch.
Some old guy with a weird accent accused me of stealing flowers from his front yard.
When are you due to be released?
He'll be released just about the same time you prove your innocence.
Hey, just because my captain is a notorious bank robber, there's no reason to take it out on me.
Otis!
Jace?
You're not helping. What is it with you and flowers?
It's a plot, I tell you. People are to make me seem less fearsome and piratey by accusing me of being the kind of pirate who likes to pick flowers.
If it's any comfort, Otis, I never found you all that fearsome to begin with.
Go pick a pack of posies.
I'm feeling an incredible feeling of deja vu.
Would it help if I gave you a breath mint?
Wait, it's past. See you later, Otis.
You're gonna get me out of here, right?
It's a pile of empty perfume spritzer bottles. I'll just take one. Ooh, that's not a pretty sight. What's with all the Hey, stop that!
Welcome to Sense and Sensibilities, where subtle fragrances from exotic lands transport you to worlds of romance and delight. My name is Hugo, and I am a licensed aromatherapist. Can Hugo interest you in one of our fine perfumes, colognes, or aftershaves?
Aren't you a little piratey for a perfume salesman?
Hugo's not a pirate. Hugo's a model citizen, making a positive economic contribution to the economic well-being of Luca Island.
Uh-huh. You sure look like a pirate to me.
But Hugo's not a pirate. Not anymore, leastways.
How do you stop being a pirate?
By taking Ozzy Mandrill's Pirate Re-Education Mail Order Correspondence course.
What's that?
It's a miracle, it is. In 3 weeks, it taught Hugo how to channel his destructive antisocial urges into more constructive avenues.
Like selling scented bathwater.
Precisely.
Why would you want to quit being a pirate in the first place?
Because Hugo could read the writing on the wall. Hugo saw that the pirate lifestyle was being marginalised by powerful outside interests. Hugo decided to get out while the getting was good.
Yeah. Doesn't Hugo miss being a pirate?
Not especially, no. Although sometimes Hugo misses the wind in his face. And the wenches. And Hugo misses the grog. And the decks covered with the blood of Hugo's enemies. But other than that, no, not a thing.
Eep. You wouldn't happen to have seen a no-nosed pirate run by here with a sack of loot, would you?
No, but Hugo did see you run by here with a sack of loot.
When I ran by here with a sack of loot, which way was I going?
Towards the deepest forests of Luca Island.
Thanks. What's that ungodly stench you've been exposing to unsuspecting passers-by?
That's our featured fragrance, Eau de la Chuck.
Who'd want to smell like LeChuck?
Oh, it's very popular among tourists wanting to capture that authentic swashbuckling mystique.
But LeChuck smelled like a rotting corpse.
We prefer to refer to it as earthy.
Eau de LeChuck's really that popular?
Oh, yes, sir. In the last few hours, Hugo's gone through dozens of sample bottles.
Smell you later.
Thank you for your patronage. Please come again.
Whew. This stand is excessively odoriferous. Be glad this game doesn't have support for smell generation. She looks a little, lightheaded.
Why, hello there, Brittany.
Oh, hi! Why do you sound like a sick kraken?
Oh, sorry. Sorry you lost your job.
Oh, it's all right. I didn't like working at that bank much anyway. I've always really wanted to be in show business.
What kind of show business?
I want to be a singer and have my own backup dancers. I don't have any skills or experience, but I figure with the right attitude, there's no stopping me.
Me too. Maybe we could start an act together.
I don't think so. I'm looking for someone a little more...
Piratey?
Cool.
Then why were you wasting away at the bank?
I was making ends meet while I put my act together. Guess I needed the push. I was getting too wrapped up in the whole financial system thing.
Hope that works out for you. What are you gonna do now?
Well, I always wanted to get into show business.
Hope that works out for you. Is it too late to open an account?
You're funny, Mr. Threepwood. The bank is no concern of mine anymore.
Well, I have manly things to do in a sensitive way. Bye. That's a very aesthetically pleasing fountain, I think. I'm no dog.
Freddy, where's my new walking stick?
It's right over here, Mr. Mandrill. A brand new cane, hand-carved to the exact specifications of your previous stick.
It better be, or I'll buy up your putrid little shop and replace it with something useful, like a public urinal.
I take it that you'll be putting this on your tab, Mr. Mandrill?
What do you think?
You know, if I weren't a peaceable sort, I'd whack that gentleman over the head with one of my sticks. I wouldn't stop whacking until his brains leaked out all over my rustic, hand-polished hardwood floor. Yep.
But you're a peaceable sort, right?
Yep.
Must be the guy who makes these sticks.
Yep, Freddy's my name. Been making sticks since you were no bigger than a toenail on a June bug.
I'm back.
So you are.
I wouldn't think that a walking stick shop could support itself on a pirate-infested island.
Well, under normal circumstances, I might agree with that sentiment. But lately, Luca Island's been experiencing an influx of tourists, gawkers, and other assorted outsiders. They're always more than eager to purchase my authentic pirate walking sticks, at a reasonable markup, of course. Besides which, I can always depend on Mr. Mandrill to break a few dozen sticks a week. He's been single-handedly keeping me in business for months.
So the walking stick market is booming, is that it?
Well, no, I wouldn't exactly call it booming, but it's putting food on the table. And if Mr. Mandrill ever pays off his tab, I can retire.
Can you help me? I can't decide which walking stick is right for me.
Well, now, in order to choose the right stick, we'll need to know a little about your walking stick needs. Where do you expect to be doing most of your walking?
Back and forth on the deck of my mighty pirate ship.
Oh, I see. And how many people would you expect to be walking with?
I'll be walking with my wife. She's a governor, you know.
Whatever you say, sir. How long will you be walking on average?
8 hours, 23 minutes, 37 seconds.
Very good. Well then, taking all your answers into consideration, not to mention the numerous personal observations I've made of your movements, I believe that the perfect walking stick for you would be the Wiebelfester 9000 Rainforest Deluxe. As luck would have it, we've got dozens of them in stock.
It's Freddy's stick catalog. Why would I want to look through the catalog when I've got the real thing right here? I'm back.
So you are.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about a no-nosed pirate, would you?
Well now, that sounds a lot like Peg-Nosed Pete. What would you like to know about him?
Who is he?
Peg-Nose? He's the greatest pirate thief on Luca Island. No one's come within a ship's broadside of putting him in leg irons yet, but I came close. Once.
No.
Yes, it happened one dark and foggy night. Many years ago, I was out testing out one of my new walking stick models, the WD-32. It has a real fancy-looking wood duck engraved in the handle, and he tried to mug me.
Gosh, what did you do?
Well, I wasn't going to stand for that. I raised my cane up to give him a good whack on the noggin, you betcha. And he ran away. I didn't even get a chance to swing. I guess he knows better than to mess with old Freddy. Yep.
Fascinating. Where can I find him?
You can't.
Come again?
No one knows where Peg-Nose's hideout is. Oh, sure. There's some rumors of him living in the middle of the treacherous Mist-So-Time marsh. But frankly, I don't believe a human being can get there from here.
What happened to his nose?
That's something of a mystery. Most folks around these parts would tell you it was nibbled off by a duck.
Ugh.
Personally, I don't believe it.
Why not?
Well, sir, it's been my experience that ducks have exceptionally tiny teeth. It'd take a long time for a duck, even a particularly nasty duck, to nibble off a man's nose. I can't imagine a man letting a duck peck away at his nose for hours on end without seeking medical help.
Good point. On second thought, I think I'll find out about Peg-Nose on my own.
Makes no never mind to me, Junior.
Stick around. I'll be back later.
Be seeing ya.
If I had a hamster, I could use this stuff for bedding. It is very important to choose a walking stick that fits your body, lifestyle, and temperament. Your walking stick should be no more than waist high and hefty enough to support 50% of your body weight. Active people should choose a stick that corresponds with the type of activity. Boring. I guess I don't want a walking stick that bad. Slightly irregular and blemished sticks. 40% off marked price. Whoever lives here must be pretty small. Nice, hatchet. I'm not picking that up. I thought that laundry got hung up after it was cleaned. Hey there, moneybags.
Very funny, Mr. Threepwood. Are you enjoying the money you stole?
Hey, I'm innocent.
Yes, right. And I'm a 20-carat brooch.
It was the no-nosed man.
How I wish I had $1 for every time I've heard that. Of course, I used to. Until you came along, that is.
Have you seen someone go by here carrying a bag of loot?
What does he look like?
Sort of like me.
Yes, I've seen him. But he didn't have a bag with him.
Really? Where?
I'm looking at him!
Enough about me. How's the banking business?
Oh, just great, thanks to you. Now I'm broke, and nobody on this island will trust me with their money ever again. What am I going to do now?
I'll find the guy who did it and wreak vengeance upon his soul.
That won't help me much, but watching you fall on a sword would be entertaining.
Well, you could have a bake sale.
I've only met one person who could sell pastries to pirates, and he's in real estate.
You could steal enough to start your bank again.
I'm a banker. I don't know anything about stealing.
Let's talk about something else. When are you going to reopen the bank?
Inspector Kennard won't let me inside, so even if I could afford to reopen it, I'm not allowed.
Why aren't you allowed inside?
The inspector says that it's a crime scene and needs to remain sealed until the case is closed.
Let's break in.
Unlike you, I respect authority and law. No one will enter the bank until the crime is solved.
Then why are you hanging around here? You look kind of suspicious to me.
I didn't rob the bank, if that's what you're insinuating.
I don't know. Most robberies are inside jobs.
Maybe. But all criminals return to the scene of the crime. And here you are.
Let's talk about something else. I hear my parole officer calling. See you later.
Welcome to the Palace of Prostheses, home of the no detection, no infection, no rejection 30-day guarantee. You smell new. Who are you?
I'm Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate.
Well, you don't smell so mighty to me.
What?
In fact, you smell kind of flowery.
What?
Heck, I can smell your lilacs and lilies aftershave even through my stuffy nose.
Wow, you're good.
Well, I'm Dave. Around here, they call me Dead-Eye Dave. I'm the Tri-Island area's foremost expert in anatomical approximation.
So, how's the prosthetics business?
It's been better.
Let me guess. An Australian land developer is using strong-arm tactics to try and buy up your business.
What? Where'd you get a weird idea like that?
Well, I just figured...
Well, you figured wrong. Australia, what kind of a name is that anyway?
Never mind. So what is wrong with your business?
My monkey left me.
And you're so despondent over your loss that you can't focus on your work, right?
Despondent? Over Pongo? Oh, don't be silly.
Then why was he so important?
Because Pongo handled all my paperwork and deliveries. He was the only one who understood my back office's automated filomatic filing system. Without him, I have no idea which orders go with which customers. It's really upsetting my regular clientele.
That's terrible. Have you heard from your filing monkey since he disappeared?
What's he gonna do? Send me a postcard?
Not to be insensitive, but are you blind?
Do I look blind?
I don't know. The twin eye patches could be some sort of hip new pirate fashion statement.
Of course I'm blind, you lilac-scented party waste!
Sorry.
Don't give it a second thought. My other senses more than compensate for my lack of sight. For example, I usually can identify my customers by their distinctive individual odors.
You can recognize people by their smell?
Usually no problem. Today though my nose is stuffed up because I got a bit of a cold. So I can only recognize amplified odors, like the lilac aftershave you've generously applied to your face. Fortunately, my hearing's still sharper than a barge full of bunnies.
So how sharp is your hearing anyway, Baldy?
Sharp enough, Pinky.
I'm looking for some gifts for my differently abled pirate friends.
Then you've come to the right place. What kinds of prostheses did you have in mind?
How about something in a fashionable peg leg?
You're in luck. We've just received several baskets of steady leg ivory pegs with rubber stoppers. They're 20 doubloons apiece.
That'd be great, if I had any money. What kind of hooks are the cool pirates wearing this season?
Oh, a traditionalist. Well, nothing says yo-ho-ho in a bottle of rum quite like our Quick Gut 2000 line of hooks. Today we're having a sale. Buy one hook for 30 doubloons and get a replacement hook for free.
That's a little bit out of my range. What have you got in affordable prosthetic hands?
Well, if you're not too discriminating, there's a basket of slightly malformed redwood hands over there. We're letting them go at 5 doubloons a pop.
Gee, that does sound good. Almost wish I was carrying some money. Frankly, I'm in the market for a prosthetic nose.
Sorry, we're fresh out. It's shocking how quickly my regular customers blow through those things.
What have you got that's free?
Free? What do you think I'm running, a charity?
What can I say? I'm broke.
Okay, you've appealed to my sense of generosity. Here's what I'll do. I'll let you have one of my untested, unguaranteed, unapproved experimental prosthetic devices.
Neat. What kind of prosthetic devices are we talking about?
I'll let you choose through a story.
Huh?
Humor me. Once upon a time, there was a pirate named...
Jerry?
Jerry. Jerry had his eye on a pirate princess named...
Mindy?
Mindy. Sadly, Mindy's finger was already wearing the engagement ring of a bounder named...
Fred?
Yeah, Fred.
Well?
Well, what?
What happened?
Oh, they all died of liver disorders in their early 30s. You wouldn't believe how much grog those kids were drinking. The end.
What a dreadful story.
I know. Here's your free experimental prostheses.
What is it?
It's a Bumbleweenie M-Class artificial liver. They were recalled a few months back.
I couldn't handle the grog?
Just the opposite. If they didn't get a constant supply of hard alcohol, they broke down.
See you later.
That makes one of us.
It's some sort of document. The name on it says, Mary N. Gangplank. It has all sorts of useless information, such as prosthetic prescriptions, address, phone number, allergies. I better hang on to this in case I need to give it back. What a great idea. I make it a rule to boycott things made from endangered animals that I didn't personally kill. Sticking my hand into a basket full of hooks seems like a recipe for disaster. There's nothing like the smell of buckets upon buckets of rotting fish in the morning sun. No. It's a rather unspectacular duck. Phew! It smells like dead fish in here.
9 kinds of dead fish, huh?
It's a large, stinky vat of free bait, marinating in bait juice. Whee! Look at the cute little termite circus. It's just like a flea circus, but with termites. That was exciting. It's a little dead fish used for fishing bait.
Hey, take that outside. You're scaring me bait.
Oh, it'll only take a minute. Nothing like the smell of rotting bait to woo the ladies. What a distinct aroma. There, now my bait will stay fresh. There, that should make the concoction smell interesting. What a distinct aroma. This must be where the magic happens. Chub rub bait scent. Excuse me.
Yes?
Do you have any bait that could catch a cold?
No.
Do you have any bait that could catch a tiger by the tail?
No.
Do you have any bait that could catch a thief?
No!
Do you have any bait that could catch a red grouper?
For the last time. Oh, yes. That free stuff over there will work fine.
Gotcha. How's the bait business?
It stinks.
You're telling me, P.U.
No, I mean it's horrible.
I bet business would pick up if you crack open a window every now and then.
Why, I tried that.
Well, did it help?
No. In fact, it seemed to drive prospective customers away. That's when I realized, see, that something strange is going on here.
Strange? How so?
Well, it may be the chum talking, but I could swear that Luca Island is getting less and less pirate-friendly, eh?
Really? How?
Why, we've been besieged.
By hostile invaders?
Worse, tourists.
Yikes.
There aren't many of them around today, but you hang around for a week, and they'll pop up like a bloated corpse in a calm sea. Why, they've been driving some of Luca's oldest pirate-oriented businesses into new fields, and have compelled some of our nastier pirates to consider new lifestyle choices. Why, I myself have soiled my once noble bait shop with a cheesy Timite circus in a desperate attempt to get me hands on some of those tourist shekels.
Was it working?
Not very well. Insects seem to repel tourists almost as much as fish guts.
Go figure. Do you know anything about a no-nosed pirate thief?
Well, that sounds like Peg-Nosed Pete.
You know him?
Are you kidding? Everyone on Luca Island has heard of Peg-Nosed Pete.
Who is he?
Boy, he's the most notorious thief on Lucre Island. He's never been caught, and his loot has never been recovered. And his true face, aside from his trademark false nose, has never been seen.
Well, I've seen his true face. It's not pretty.
Yeah, right. And I've seen a bucket of chum solve complex math problems.
Where can I find him?
You can't. Nobody can. There's rumor that his hideout is somewhere in the heart of the Mists of Time marsh.
Great. I'm off to the marsh.
But no one has ever been able to navigate their way through the marsh without getting hopelessly lost. It's cursed.
Darn. Another curse. How did he lose his nose?
Oh, that's one of the darkest mysteries of Lucre Island. Some would have you believe that Pegnose's proud proboscis was pecked off by a duck. But I believe it was a school of deranged flounder that made off with his honker.
That's one of the darkest mysteries of Lucre Island?
No. But it sounds more ominous that way.
How does he smell without a nose anyway?
Awful.
I guess I should have seen that one coming. Let's talk about something else.
Well, whatever skins your salmon.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but why are you running a termite circus?
Well, I used to sell termites as bait, But most deep-sea fishermen prefer something with a bit more...
stench?
Meat. Anyway, when bait sales started tailing off, I took all my termites and trained them to do circus tricks. I even got the act approved by the newly formed LucasArts Entertainment Consortium.
Well, is it working?
Not really. I have to kick most of my profits back to the head of the consortium. That rude.
It sure stinks in here.
You get used to it after a while, and come to miss it when you're out and about. That's why I never bathe, see? So I can keep that sweet, sweet scent of fish entrails with me wherever I go.
How touching. Not to mention revolting. Why is that bait over there free?
Well, that bait is nearly expired. I need to get rid of it before it goes bad.
How does bait go bad?
Oh, the usual ways. Falls in with the wrong crowd, starts rebelling against authority, begins dating bait of loose virtue. And before you know it, the bait's gone bad.
I think I'll just look around for a while.
Well, you look all you like, but if you break it, you board it.
Ooh, it's the Grouper Master 3000 series with bamboo composite core. I'd have no use for it. I can never seem to bring myself around to stabbing poor defenseless little worms with hooks. I haven't seen so many glassy, lifeless stares since my wedding reception. I doubt that I'll be needing a fish head. And even if I do, I'm not picking one up.